Okay, so here is our new flange, and I got a gasketed one, um, just for a little extra oomph, you know. So it's going to go in the hole like that. Now here's the problem: so we got a gap down here, and this has to screw to the floor, or at least it's got to screw to something that's attached to the floor. So I need to put something around this so I can attach this. Those closet bolts, these guys, go in these little holes on the side, and you turn them so they go in this way, and then they turn 90 degrees. They grab onto the bottom like that, and for some reason they just don't quite fit in this. That's interesting. And then japers, so that sits on top like that. Okay, so thankfully, or unthankfully, depending on how you want to approach this, we've got a outline on the floor where the old toilet was. So I need to make basically a base that's going to hit that, because if I make it just go around the flange, it's not going to be on the floor. It's not going to sit flush. Is that terrible? No. Does it suck? Kinda. So the next thing we need to do, I want to see if some of my leftover OSB will fit under there. I'm almost positive it will not. If that's not going to work, then we'll just make a brand new one, because the flange, or our white thing, is what needs to sit above the ground, not everything else. Right? You don't want the flange low, because then the water has to go through the flange into the drain. If the flange is sitting lower than the floor, then you're going to have a gap. You don't want a gap. Gaps are bad. Wish I had a smaller piece of this, but I don't, and I don't think it's going to fit. It is just the right height. So here's what we're going to do. That might be sitting on a piece. I think that's thicker though. Anyway, we're going to outline that. Okay? We'll transfer that to here. We'll cut a hole out that this will fit in, and then we'll cut it in half. So it'll be like a clamshell. It'll come together one side. Hole in the middle for this. Attach the OSB to the floor. Flange goes in there. Flange will attach to the OSB. Toilet attaches to the flange. Seen it done a million times. The other option, which is much worse, is I'm sure I've got some of this stuff leftovers, like this. That is probably just about the right thickness, but, you know, good luck finding any of that in here, I say. So, the easiest way to transfer our size and shape will be cardboard. But I don't think that's going to be big enough. So, we'll fiddle with it and make it work. I'll probably just cut a chunk off of that and do it that way. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes your old pal Jason kind of takes things for granted. And this just wouldn't stop. Just wouldn't stop dripping. It was just a little bit. And I'm like, what the hell did I forget? What did I do? I dug out this other one that I bought, but it's 1.25 inches. That's 1.5 inches, so none of that was going to work. I didn't really want to go buy any extra. So I thought, I'm just going to start over. I'm going to take everything out and I'm going to start over. And you know what I forgot? I forgot a level. You need to make sure that it's level here and it's level here. And I plumb forgot. With all the leveling and all the work I did with the sink, I forgot to level that. So I threw this paint pan down there. I let the water run for a little while because I will hear it if it drips on this. But it's been 3 or 4 minutes. There hadn't been a drip yet, so I think we're relatively safe. As for the toilet, well, you may notice it's not quite as intended. I got thinking about it. Like, I'm going to have to redo this floor anyway. So I'm not going to put a whole lot of time and effort into getting the toilet right. You know? Until I know what I'm doing with that. So it's not... The flange isn't attached to the floor because the way the floor is, where it's all kind of carved out where that other flange is, didn't really want to fit. So it's... The toilet's there. It's solid, but where it's attached to the floor is not very solid. Will drain fine. I thought that was going to be the proper size, so I didn't buy another one, and it is not the proper size. So I'm a fill line short, so I just filled it with water from the sink, just so there'd be water in there to keep, like we were doing with the cup, keeps the gas from getting out. And it was kind of gross, so I threw a bleach thing in there, and it's just going to sit for a little while. Other than that, that's fine. You may notice this is a little bit cleaned up, slightly better, maybe. I built the platform just in case we had any floor issues. I know it's silly to have one over there, but not one over here. I'll work on that. I don't have enough OSB left to do one in here. But I'm going to want one over there eventually, I said, so I had enough to do that one. This one, where we're probably redoing all of this, I didn't mess with. So that just keeps everything up off the floor. It's just a frame. There's a 2x4 going in the middle, OSB on top. That's it. Quick and easy. Got some of the stuff out. I know those speakers were not supposed to be stored, and they probably won't be. I just kind of wanted to get this cleaned up a little bit. I've still got this mess over here to deal with and this mess over here. But, it's a little better. I've got some stuff to go through. I'm going to pull these Geminis out because I'm trying to sell those. I will probably pull the PowerWorks, these, out as well. And I will either replace them with those little PowerWorks, which are self-powered, and just a mixing board, or like I talked about the other day, I'll pull those two Kings out and I'll use those. But I kind of want to clean those up first. They're old and they're a little chewed up, and they weren't in great shape when I bought them, and I've probably had them for 20, 25 years now, so they're in even less great shape. But I did just want to, progress has been made. Oh, we didn't even look at the thing. It is later than I thought. I wanted to get some more done out here before it got too late. I mean, what's 7:30, right? Well, when you're a horrible old man, 40 years old, and you got to go to work tomorrow, 7:30 is getting to be, do I really want to do this right now time? But needs doing. I got to do something with all this. Since we are all set up and good to go in there, though, coffee, filters for this little guy, and a bag of coffee. This is not great, but it was super on sale, so I bought some. And this guy, I don't know if I've ever told you guys a story about this guy. Picked it up at the thrift store. Haven't even taken the sticker off. It's been years. Just an old percolator. And this thing, this is an interesting thing, because if you were in a vehicle, you would hang it off your dashboard. And somewhere in the house, I have an adapter that will take this to a cigarette lighter. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's awesome. You're correct. it's also ridiculous. You are also correct. So there we go. So for the rest of the night, I've got to do a little bit of work on the podcast, so we'll do that. I need to pack that thing up because it's getting sent back because it's got a handful of problems, unfortunately. Not just the one that I was immediately dealing with, but it's got a handful of problems. I need to remember... There's some guitar strings right there. I got to remember to pull those out and ship them. But yeah, I'm gonna come out. I'm gonna sit down, and I'm gonna start doing some cleanup out here because it's time. It's been driving me nuts forever, and this is not, like we talked about, this is not done by any means, but it is better. It is ideal. Before I did all that, I went and refoamed some gaps over along the wall. There were some holes in here for where the bathtub was. There was one down under there where I pulled out some electrical. And then I did do all the extra joints that I hadn't done. So eventually, all this will come back out. I'll I don't know what we want to call it. I'll seal that wall like we did this one. I was just out of the stuff. And it's not something I just want to go out and buy. You know, it's a little expensive. I will say, it's much warmer in here now, that I think just because there's water, you know. So fixing that window might become a higher priority, just so I can get some air in and out of there. Because it's a little, and I could probably turn that down to like 72 or 73. So yeah, I'm gonna get some music or something going and just get cleaning up. I still kind of think putting these on either side of the window is okay. I'm not 100% sure one's gonna fit there though, now that we've kind of done some of the work here. This doesn't count. So if I want to go up that window casing, I've got 23 inches, almost exact on that side. And I've got not quite 23 on this side. Yeah, 22 and a half would be comfortable. And really, I should shorten that an inch total because of the way these doors open. They hinge and then come out to the side this way. So when the door is closed, we got this. But when the door is open, it doesn't hinge here. It hinges like this. It's got like a rolling hinge. So I probably should add at least an inch, 2 inches to the total depth or width of one of these, and make sure that comes in at, you know, a usable space, or I take the doors off. God damn it, that is so close. That is so close. That might be one we'll just take the doors off. Or I can find some smaller hinges or cabinets, or I put them on this wall, or I put one above the thing or over there or on either side of the stack here. I don't know. Put them in here. I don't know. I really don't know. It's just something else to think and consider. Because they're great. This is like a perfect height for this kind of thing. The problem is the way they open. They're a pain in the ass to open. So anyway, I am not going to make some coffee tonight. I will save that for another night. But you guys will absolutely be here when it happens. How's our bourbon and oak? Because, yeah. Anyway, I really should probably start putting all of these clips together into a video, because I haven't done that in a long time. Same day, same time. Same Lucy. I can't hear you. Speak up. That's better. Lucy, why is it so orange out here right now? I mean, it doesn't look that way to you guys, but it's almost like half sepia tone. And it smells like rain. I think that would be why. What's it doing over there? We need it over here. Why are you so excited? Lucy. We'll go in a minute. Look, progress. Getting there anyway. Getting there. Okay. I need to just build a thing. Like if I could take this idea, extrapolate it out, get 2 chargers, maybe like 1 on each side, make it twice as tall, I don't know. Get another order of these things. And then like build a box that these plug into that's got 1, because these are not really high power. Anyway, let's take a step back. This is still a bit of a mess. I need to go through all my shipping stuff. But we're a little better. That bag was sitting on top of that cabinet, but I needed to put that speaker there, so it got moved. Yeah. Is it perfect? No. Is it a little better? Yes. I vacuumed part of it. Vacuumed off the workbench so I can do some work. I do not want to leave this down all night. And I've noticed, I know it's dark. I think it's so hot in here because the walls. That is a warm wall. And that one is especially warm because it's on the west side. So it's had the sun hitting it for a good while. So I think that's where all our heat's coming from. And I have a small idea, something I can do for that in the future. Maybe. Candle finally got all the way down. Smells really nice. It's not really bourbon-y, which is good because I'm not a big bourbon fan. It smells almost like pipe tobacco, and I'm okay with that. Got my inventory hung up on the wall. Didn't want to do it that way, but that's good enough. I need to get another set of flat wounds for my other bass. The guitar up. That white guitar stand is going to live over here, because when I sit and practice out here, it's nice having a guitar just within arm's reach. So picked up that big bag of mic stands. God, that thing weighed 100 pounds. And then, of course, I missed one. That little guy right there. There's one right there, but that one stays out for practice. This is the one that I use to do the podcast with. Oh yeah, doorbell's usable now. So that's the thing. I knew I had another one of these hooks. Couldn't find it. There. Yeah, so take these inside because we're shipping those. That fluorescent light is now hanging up right there. I need to be extra careful with the water supply down here, so maybe I think I've got enough leftover OSB and 2x4. Maybe I could just build like a case. Doesn't have to be attached to the wall or anything, just well, that'd be a 4-sided box. It wouldn't have a bottom and it wouldn't have a back. It would just be a cover I could put up against the wall. That's probably not a bad idea. Yeah. Feeling pretty good about it. don't know. Probably gonna end up putting the coffee pot on top of the fridge, I think. Which, you know, when I laid out the outlets, I thought 8 outlets on that wall, that's going to be more than enough. Plus there's another 4, 4, and 4. But I keep finding myself like, God, I wish I just had one more, like, right in the middle. I could fix it. If I'm going to do it, now's the time, but I wouldn't do it on this wall because this wall's finished. And I don't really need it on this wall. I do kind of wish now that I would have ran another line into there, but I didn't know what the plan was for in there at the time, so it could still be done. And I think if I did it, I would go up and over and through here, and maybe just put like an outlet, something up there. I don't know, something, maybe, who knows. I told you I thought it was gonna rain, and it's coming this way, and I can extra smell it now. So, all right, guitar strings. We need something to ship them in. 5 sets, so we need a size M. I buy these at the post office. These are great. They're cheap. I'll go buy and I'll buy like 3 M's and 3 S's, 3 smalls and 3 mediums, and it's like $7 or $8. It's perfect. Okay. I will see you folks later.